Good morning, wrestling fans. Before there was Braun Strowman and Mark Henry, this man was setting world bench press records. He was the strongest man in wrestling, and unless you're an historian, you probably never heard of him. Let's talk about Ted Arcidi, and stick around because we have a present-day photo of him. Let's check out a clip of him breaking bench press records in Hawaii in 1985. In this clip, he becomes the first man on the planet to bench press 700 pounds. What a machine. Arcidi was born in Buffalo, New York. He was billed at 285 pounds. His highest bench press ever was 725 pounds, but that bench was highly controversial. After the fact, his lift was disqualified for failing to lock out his arms due to bone spurs in his elbow, which were later corrected. So depending on who you ask, his highest bench press was either 718 or 725 pounds. Either way, pretty impressive. His wrestling career was a bit of a bust. Highlights included working Vince McMahon's WWE and competing in the NFL Battle Royale at WrestleMania 2. He also had various strongman challenges with Tony Atlas and Hercules Hernandez. So, what does he look like today? There you go. So what do you think, folks? What strongman should we discuss next? Leave us a comment below. Let's continue our series about the world's biggest muscle men with the video about the Warlord. And let's face it, this dude was huge. In fact, he's currently 57 years old, still competing in the Indies, and he's still enormous. Let's look at some of his career highlights. His first national exposure was with Jim Crockett's NWA, where he teamed with the massive Barbarian. They feuded with the Road Warriors in NWA. WWE owns and blocks that footage, but you can imagine that feud was pretty epic. And although some people called the Powers of Pain a Road Warriors knockoff, Warlord was a personal friend of the Warriors, having trained together in the Midwest. Upon entering WWE, they feuded with Demolition and were ultimately managed by Mr. Fuji. Of course, Demolition also had a similar Road Warrior gimmick. Wrestling purists didn't love the matches, but they looked like something out of a Mad Max movie. The Powers were ultimately split up after the Road Warriors entered the Federation. There simply wasn't room for so many similar factions. The storyline was that the 6'6" Warlord was sold off to Slick, and he resurfaced with a new look. In recent interviews, he admits to using performance-enhancing medication in that era. He also says he benched 650 pounds at the time. Wow. His wrestling career ultimately ended in 1996 with a neck injury, but he still appears in occasional matches on the Indy circuit. So go get an autograph when he comes to your town. What did you think of the Warlord? Leave your opinions below and subscribe for new videos all the time. Today, we're going to talk about the former strongest man in the world, Magnus Ver Magnusson. He's the Michael Jordan of powerlifting. Don't believe me? Watch this.
What? What's going on? Are you kidding me? Somebody stop him! Someone stop him!
Magnus is holding 2 tons of metal for a whopping 101 seconds. He beat former world's strongest man Bill Kazmier by over 80 seconds. Let's look at Magnus's real accomplishments. He's an Icelandic powerlifter and strongman competitor. He's won the title of World's Strongest Man 4 times. in 91, 94, 95, and 96. His best lifts in competition include a 964-pound squat, 882-pound raw squat, 605-pound bench press with shirt, just slightly less for the raw bench press, and an 827-pound raw deadlift. The raw total of 2,238 pounds. He once held the world record for a tire deadlift of 445 kilograms, or 981 pounds. To put that in perspective, Magnus squats almost 200 pounds more than WWE strongman Braun Strowman's personal record. Crazy. Let's look at a few of his incredible strongman feats, and for the record, he took first or second in every World's Strongest Man competition from 1991 to 1997. He's also won every Iceland's Strongest Man competition he competed in from 1988 to 2004. And let's face it, Iceland is a land of giants. So there you go, folks. What huge strongman should we focus on next? Jeep Swenson? Mark Henry? Hafthor Bjornsson? Leave us a comment with your opinions below. Have you ever met a man who weighs over 400 pounds, deadlifts over 1,100 pounds, has a badass mohawk, and has won the World's Strongest Man competition? Well, now you have. Meet Eddie Hall. He may be the baddest dude I have ever seen. Born in 1988 in Staffordshire, England, Eddie holds the world's deadlift record of 500 kilograms. He also held the world record for axle press at 476 kilograms. He won 2017's World's Strongest Man competition, and he's been UK's strongest man pretty much every year since 2011.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Jeez. How's that?
That's amazing!
Let's check out some of his impressive lifts and feats of strength as I list off more of his personal records. He squats almost 900 pounds, bench press 661 pounds, leg press of over 2,200 pounds for 10 reps. He also elevated deadlifts almost 1,200 pounds. For a second, check out his calves. I'm pretty sure his calves have calves. So what do you think, folks? Is Eddie Hall truly the strongest man in the world today? Let me show you a few more highlights, and you can leave your opinions below. He also has a documentary on Netflix if you'd like to find out more. Previously, we profiled Eddie Hall and his 661-pound bench press. We declared him the strongest man on the planet. But is there somebody even stronger? Maybe somebody who bench pressed over 1,000 pounds? Sounds impossible. Well, apparently it isn't. So what superhuman strongman was able to accomplish this feat? Well, it wasn't the Warlord, Ted Arcidi, Mark Henry, or even Bill Kazmier. They were massive weightlifters that we discussed previously. But in the world of bench press, we have somebody stronger. Let's look at Gene Richlack Jr. and his quest to bench 1,000 pounds. Richlack is a powerlifter who specializes in that lift. Let's take a look. Now in powerlifting, it is important to identify there's a difference between equipped lifting and raw lifting. Equipped lifts include a bench shirt that presses the chest to help assist in the upward motion. Gene's accomplishments were equipped lifts. Gene was the first man to bench 900 pounds. That happened in 2003. Prior to this, the record was 802 pounds in 1999. Think about this for a moment. Gene Richlack crushed the world bench press record by over 100 pounds. Then, 1 year later, in 2004, he beat his own record by another 100 pounds and became the first human being to bench press 1,000 pounds. Now, the typical weight for Gene Richlack was 345 pounds, and his highest bench press was 1,010 pounds in 2006. That world record has since been defeated, so subscribe to the channel to learn more about who defeated Gene Richlack to have the heaviest bench press in history. So what do you think, folks? Will anyone ever cross the 1,100 pound mark? The current world record is 1,075 pounds. Leave your comments and opinions below.
Oh, you didn't know?
And his opponent.
Hey everybody, this is Badass Billy Gunn, former WWE superstar. I'm here to give a shout out to Westmore. Because they crossed my mind because I happen to be laying in a bed in Chicago and this bed is awful. But hey, if you want the best sleep of your life, go check out buyrestmore.com for the best sleep, and I mean the best sleep of your life. There's an Amazon link in the description. Now go get some sleep, some good rest, you degenerates.
Order yours today. There's an Amazon link in the description below.